Mrs. Minister, dear Mr. President of the Football Associations, dear ladies and gentlemen, I also have the pleasure to be here to address to you our views a little bit on the situation which is around now in football, and looking also or giving you some best practices, some advice to think about the issue. So we do not have also a solution which is already perfect, which you just can go tomorrow and implement, but I think it's more a basis of discussions. I also would like the organizer for giving us the opportunity to come here to Serbia and to show you some examples. I want in particular introduce you a little bit more into the so-called UEFA club licensing system. The club licensing system was introduced in 2004 in UEFA. When I started in UEFA, was in '96. I could, in '97, start this project. So we are now 12 years later, more or less, and we can say that the club licensing system is a tool which helps to achieve certain standards in football in the different levels. I will give you here a little bit the introduction into that, into the objectives of the system, and also to show you what are the objectives behind, and which can also help you somehow to overcome the problems in football. Through the licensing system, this I also have to admit, we cannot solve everything. It's not for everything it's the magic solution, the club licensing system. But this is a basis where you can start with. And I know that the Football Association here in Serbia is applying the system successfully, also in their Super League, and they intend somehow to introduce the system also on the national context, and I really would invite them to do so, not only for the top division, but also for the lower divisions, because this helps really to set up standards in the different fields. Which are now these fields which we're talking about in the licensing system? We have 5 different categories of criteria. First are sporting criteria. There we say each club who wants to play football in Europe in our UEFA competitions must have a youth education system. So without youth, you cannot play in our competitions. I think this is also the key and also one of the strengths of the Serbian football, because you have good youth education since a long time. So you have even been very successful on international level with your football, and you produced a lot of players. And I think you should continue to do that in the best manner. So I think this is for me key. On the long term, if you do not really invest in your youth, you will not keep the standards in football. But in order to have a good youth system, you need also educated coaches. So this is then the backbone, I would say, from the youth education system. So you need a youth coach which is well educated, that he can train the youngsters, the kids. Or she. That's for sure. So women's football is not something which we forget. We are even thinking about in UEFA now to introduce the licensing system also for the women's football. So you see the development is going on. So as I said, the education of those people which are involved in football, in the administrative side, in the technical side. So the coaches is one thing, but also the administrative side is key. So we want that the clubs have really professional people also in the administration. Especially, I would like to tell you the finance officer. There should be an educated person which really can look at the finances of the clubs, that the money is used most efficiently, and that in every time during the year you know exactly which is the financial status of the club, where do we have problems, what do we have to look for solutions. So this part of the personal administrative criteria is the second part or second category, which is also important. We try to develop there also for improvement, so that you have a security officer for also, because this is, if you use the stadium, you have to be sure that the people which are coming to the matches have a safe stadium, and they trust that they can come with the children, with the women also to the matches, so that there is no fear. So you see, this is key. The third category are some legal criteria, and I think there I see a certain link now to your intention for the privatization. So which is now the legal form of the club which they should have? So is it that they have a limited company, a stock company? Should they be even at the stock exchange, the shares? So all these solutions are possible. We from UEFA, for the time being, do not say which is the legal form the clubs must have. This is up to the clubs themselves to decide. I think they are also the best suitable persons which can say, for us it's better to have an association with composed of each single member. Each member has one vote, or we want to have a stock company with shares and so on. So this is, from my point of view, not, I would say, the crucial question at the end, if you have a privatization or not. I think more important is the quality of the people involved. Even if you have the best sponsor, if he does not understand football, he will invest a lot of money, but he cannot buy the success, because sports is different from business. This we have also to say. We have competitions, yearly competitions. In the normal economic environment, you working on the long term, you want to achieve goals, you want to achieve also in football goals, but they are more or less always related to one season. I want to become champion in one season, so I have to focus my strengths for one season. On the long term, we have also to try to achieve goals with football, and I think this is exactly one of the which clubs have, because all of a sudden, if the sporting success is not here, then the crisis comes. You have then to buy new players because you think you have the wrong players. This costs money. On the other side, also you have to release your coach because you think your coach is not the right one. So in this sense, also, it's a problem. You are in a conflict because the results are somehow Saturday by Saturday. This is sports.